Hey, what's up? This is Derek D from PBR Podcast. I'm currently eating delicious chili. But other than that, you're listening to PBR Podcast.
Hit it! Ultra sophisticated
Podcast, baby. Now tell me something good. Oh, yeah.
And you've done this before.
Done it a few times.
Are you going to let the rest of us speak, or are you just
I
going
won't
to talk
say
the whole
anything.
time?
You know me.
He's definitely
You know
gonna
me.
He's definitely-
Brian, I wasn't here last time when you were on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You weren't
He
here.
might have to cut his mic. Like,
Yeah,
if he
believe
gets
me, I
into a
got-
roll, cut it.
I got a mute button right here.
Okay.
See, I already muted him. It's just like that. You know what I mean?
No, I'll be good.
So what are you going to be good?
No.
So Brian Wright, second time on the show. No, it's Roberson.
Yeah, Robertson.
Karl Roberson. Now UFC fighters. You fought your way in at 2 fights in the UFC? One
fight,
so far?
one contender series fight, and then my first UFC fight.
Are you ever going to go over the second round? Or are you just going to keep beating people up?
Hey, man, listen, I'm not playing on it. Easy money in the first round. I'm going to take it.
Nice. That's great. So that was your...
Do you understand how much easier my job is when I have to do nothing? We warm up, we go out, and then some freak. Can I curse, by the way?
Sure.
I mean, you know...
I'm sorry. I just did.
He's all
but-
worried because we're on Spotify now.
All right, so I'll be
Spotify,
good. I'll be good. I'll be
I
good.
mean, it's great that we're on Spotify.
This guy, like, you just...
I'm
I gotta
really
keep
bad.
1 minute in, edit out Derek.
He's going to curse and then ask. Can I
I do. It's hey.
You
know how I
say
roll.
say
know how
whatever
I
you
roll.
want.
But Brian, you're his coach. You're
Yeah,
his
but
coach,
I got to tell you, the thing is, like, he makes life so easy. We warm up in the back, we go out. He does something like out of the blue we haven't worked on in like 2 years. Fights over, and it's done. I mean, Jesus. So you're supposed to be Mr. like kickboxer. How many submissions we have now? 3.
3, yeah, 3.
Yeah.
3 first round
You were a
submissions.
kickboxer first?
Yeah, started kickboxing.
Did you start boxing first and then kickboxing?
Yeah,
and
started
then,
boxing, amateur boxing, and then went to kickboxing, and then MMA.
Now, just so you understand, like, we can say he started kickboxing, but let's be real about it. So he started kickboxing, and how many amateur fights do you have? 4?
4, yeah.
4 amateur fights. Like, literally, we're nobody in nowhere. I get a phone call. Hey, you want to go to France and fight a guy with over 100 fights in a castle on a hilltop in Saint-Tropez? Sure, let's go. We go, puts him on the map. And so then he became a kickboxer. It was like literally amateur fighter, middle of nowhere, gets phone call. Now the whole world knows Karl
Well, you
Roberson
gotta fight anywhere, right? You fight in a parking lot. If
Anywhere,
you know what I mean, right?
anytime. That's how I am.
For people that don't know, like so from boxing to kickboxing, what were the rules in kickboxing? Like you could punch and kick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and knee.
Punch,
and knee.
kick, knee.
But there's no like if you get them down to the mat.
No.
you have to
can't.
let him up.
Right.
Yeah.
Same rules as boxing too. Like if you knock a guy down, you get a standing 8 count,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's similar to boxing. It's boxing, but with knees and kicks.
Yeah.
And I asked this to everyone that we've had on that's involved in the sport or in UFC or boxing, like getting punched in the face. Like you just like, nah, man,
Yeah,
whatever.
I get that question so much times. I've trained so much, it doesn't bother me. I like it. Like I got issues. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Are you the youngest? Do you have a brother
Yeah.
older than you?
Older, way older.
And he used to beat you up.
Nah, my brother's blind. So
Okay.
So
He just missed a lot.
No, I have an older sister who made up for it. So she was way more violent than anybody ever knew. So
But so she hit you.
yeah, she tried to kill me. That's what.
So my brother used to try to kill me. I'm the last of 5, and I say this all the time. I said it to you a million times. I enjoy getting punched in the face.
I've been punched in the face once. I hated it.
I think it's a
This
little
is-
brush.
Yeah, but
it's a
I will
adrenaline
tell you,
rush.
with Karl doesn't get hit in the face that much.
I really don't. I
He
don't.
really doesn't. So he can sit here and talk about how much he loves to get hit, but
I'm
when
talk-
you watch him move, it's like, oh, he really doesn't want to get hit in the face at all.
Okay, that's if you, like I'm going off of sparring. Like if you see me spar, it's like I'm just standing there. I'm going to try to take your face off. So you try to take my face off, I'm going to stand there. In fights, you have to earn that. So I'm not going to just stand there and let you hit me.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I had a coach once point out to me, it's like the guy you got to worry about is the pretty fighter, because like you'll see a fighter that's got like a face, like his nose is flat, his ears are all messed up. Oh my God, look at that guy. He must be tough.
Yeah,
It's
he
like,
gets hit a lot.
No, he sucks. He blocks with his face. He sucks.
He's tough. He takes it.
I never looked at it that way, man. That's a good way to look at it.
He's tough because he takes it. But
It's the
he's-
pretty fighter that you got. The guy who's got like 100 fights and no marks. It's like,
Wait a minute.
What's going on? He's
Who
a
has he
ninja.
been
Come on
fighting?
now.
I used to train with Brian. for 100 years ago, for a long time, on and off,
Dude,
right?
do you want to know how scary it is? March, it'll be 20 years that I've been running a gym.
So how long ago were you on the highway above the dry clean?
20 years ago.
So for 20 years we've known each other
20
now.
years now.
So in the 20 years I've known Brian, and I've come in and out of the gym, and
Where's
all
the
of
gym?
his gyms.
It's on 35 in Oakhurst. It's called Killer Bee Combat Sports. We're in the same building as Sherman Williams.
I know. I know.
Yeah, right by the new puppy
Puppy dog
place.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah, puppy dog
which is
place.
going to be dope. I
Yeah.
can't. my
And
dog-
your history, your background is boxing, and that's like where you.
I started off with karate, then I got into full contact karate. I got into kickboxing. I was doing judo also. So I came up in the early days when it really wasn't MMA. First, it was NHB.
MMA didn't even exist,
no,
really,
it was
when you-
NHB originally. Like we didn't even have gloves. They called it no holds barred. And then eventually it came into MMA when they started to adopt the different rules and whatnot. But I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so I started before there was even a thing that was MMA.
So like you, Carl, you go to the gym, and you're like how long have you guys been working together?
6 years,
6 years now? About
Yeah.
5,
I mean,
6
maybe
years now?
6. We say 6 to make people feel better about the
Yeah,
ass whoopings
about-
you get.
But you were already
5 minutes,
you were already
5
involved
minutes.
in the sport of boxing and kickboxing.
Yeah, no, I actually started kickboxing with him.
Oh, okay. But you were boxing
Yeah,
before that.
boxing, but I was young. I was like 13 boxing, then, so I was still a baby.
So how'd you get into that? Was that Neptune, like around here? Or?
Yeah, I went to a local gym, Asbury PAL, and they got me into boxing. And then the coach wasn't working out, so I went looking somewhere else, and I ran into this fucking guy
Where'd you meet him, man?
at the gym.
Yo,
At his gym?
At
like
his gym.
literally, like
Would you just walk in?
it's like-
I literally
it
walked in.
a
I got the
walk-in off
weirdest
the street.
fucking looks.
Well,
from-
Wait, hold on. I gotta paint a picture here because there's a big garage door in the back.
No,
No,
this was when I was in
Real Elite
Asbury.
In
when I-
Asbury, right next to
Yeah,
George's.
yeah.
Yeah, so this one I'm 250 pounds, so I'm a big guy now. So I walk in and everybody looks at me like, who the fuck is this guy?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", so 250 pounds, 6'1", random black guy walks into
Yeah.
the gym. He's like, okay, what you want to do? I'm like, well, I want to start training and everything. He said, you sure? I'm like, yeah. Like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. He tried to kill me the next day. He
Yeah.
sicked all the killers on me, and I got like dropped like 6 times. He's like, I'll train you. And then it was.
That sounds about right.
We
man.
honestly, though,
I'm just like thinking of like the movie Creed right now. Like,
yeah, honestly though, we've said it a bunch of times. I didn't like him.
Yeah.
I honestly was
We
like,
did-
I
Why
hope
did
he-
you come in with an
I hope he
attitude?
doesn't come
Nah,
back.
I didn't we didn't click. Like we 2 different worlds. Like I had the young attitude. Like I'm
Yeah.
tough. I'm able to do anything. He's like, I've been through wars and I'm not new to this, so I'm gonna show you.
this is a movie already.
It is a
It's
movie, right?
No, he ends up. We don't get along at all. You know what?
Are
it
you
is?
also his manager?
No.
No, I'm not his manager. But with me, like I see potential in people, and like if you don't live up to it, I get a little salty. So I see this naturally gifted human being, and he's just not living up to his potential. He's 260 pounds.
What-
He
Okay,
fights at
first of-
185
First of
now.
all, I was 250. Don't be
Okay,
adding
fine,
10
all right,
pounds.
fine.
So you-
I don't
Were you
think I am.
Jack 250?
No,
No, he's
I was
fat,
a sloppy.
man.
Oh, you were heavy.
How old were you at this point? 6 years ago? 5 years ago?
27.
So, so you're out of
You were like 20.
19,
You were like
19,
20.
20.
you're out of high school. Is what
Yeah,
I'm-
I was out of high
Did you
school.
play sports in high school?
Yeah, I was a baseball player. I actually went to college for baseball.
What
baseball
position?
and wrestling. I was a pitcher.
We went to the same high school, by the way.
Yeah.
Not at the same time.
Yeah, but
Well, because you're old, Derek.
it's something.
I'm not old.
He's 18, okay? That's how you feel.
He looks young, man. He looks young.
As long as you feel young, you're good.
So how heavy were you? So you're on the mound in high school. You're like you're 6'1".
6'1", I was
You're
shooting
like
what?
CC
Probably
Sabathia.
230, like 230.
Oh, so you are that big even in high school
Yeah.
pitching.
He's a
You're probably
CC.
throwing gas.
Yeah, I topped out like 96.
Derek's on your team. You're doing batting practice. He shits his pants when you're on the mound.
No, I'm
He's 4'11".
Kidding me? I was a leadoff batter, always on base. Huh?
He's fucking throwing BBs at you, and you're like,
Although I don't think I've ever had a 97 mile per hour pitch thrown at me.
Yeah, it was a good experience. But I went to college, tore my shoulder, and then
You're
had to
pitching. You're
figure-
pitching arm.
Yeah, had to figure out what I wanted to do, and went to fighting. Like, okay, I was violent anyway, so why not try this? So
he came.
found
He
this
was
guy.
big. Came in, and worse. If you told me then he'd be fighting 185, I said you're fucking crazy. This is a big dude.
185 light heavyweight.
He
No,
fights
it's-
185 pounds.
That's right. Light
middleweight.
Middleweight.
205 is light
Okay.
heavyweight.
So he comes in. He's like 260. Well, your first amateur 250. All right, fine.
Stop adding 10
All right,
pounds.
sorry. I get you confused with Jay, the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he takes an amateur fight. That was at heavyweight.
Yeah.
dude was huge.
And that's just
that was a big.
and now we're just it's boxing right
no,
now.
this
No,
is
this is
MMA.
MMA.
We do an MMA.
Oh no, the first fight was a kickboxing fight, not the MMA fight.
Was that the one in the basement?
That was the one in the basement where I was late.
All right, this is a good
In a
one.
basement?
All right,
Listen,
you know
this is a
Friday.
long
All right,
story.
you know Friday Night Fights.
Yeah.
In New York City, they
Okay,
do
yeah,
the
yeah,
fights
yeah,
in
yeah.
the basement at the Hall of St. Paul.
Yeah.
So they have it basically at the basement of.
I think I was
St. Paul's
supposed to go.
Church.
I think I was supposed to meet you at what you're talking about before I knew who Carl was.
Probably, and you probably didn't show up because you were too busy doing something. Yeah, that's the way you were.
Right, because you always put out like the invites.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Carl goes, I said, you got to be at St. Paul's Church. So he goes to St. Paul's Church down in Chinatown. I'm at St. Paul's Church, which is all the way uptown. And he's like, where are you? He's asking like homeless people.
I'm asking
like,
homeless people and like Chinese people, is there fights here? And they're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm at a church.
he's third
And they're
fight.
like,
and he's an hour away downtown in the
Oh,
city.
you were in the wrong spot.
and the-
completely wrong spot.
And he's fighting this redneck dude from like North Carolina. And no joke, they have like beards down to their navel and they're wearing like
Very
biker
nice beards,
leather
though.
Is
vests.
this sanctioned?
But how are you-
No,
Right.
this is kickboxing in New York,
it's
sanctioned. Friday Night
sanctioned.
Fights. It's a big
No-
show.
And how were you? What was your physical shape at this point?
You were lighter, but
I
you
was
were
like,
big.
Yeah, I was probably
you
like
were big.
220, 225.
So he's still a heavyweight.
Still a heavyweight.
And no experience, whatever. There's other guys got fights. Take this fight, I don't know, maybe short notice.
This is
That's kind of what we
kickboxing.
do. This
Yeah,
is
it's
pure kickboxing.
Pure kickboxing. Mind you, this is my first fight, and he has me fighting with no gear.
Like,
That
it was
means
gloves.
It's like
Just-
pro rules. That
yeah,
means
so no shin
no
pads,
shin
shin
pads,
guards,
no
no headgear,
no
nothing.
headgear, small
Just-
gloves. My
yeah.
first
8
fight,
ounce.
you had-
8 ounce.
That's all. Like
12s because they're
12 ounce?
heavyweights.
no 10s.
10s because they're
10.
heavyweights.
I mean, that's like a pillow. It's like bare knuckle. Might
Yeah.
as well be. First fight, and I'm late. I get out the car.
He gets
I get
out of the
car.
taxi
Yeah, out the
because he
taxi.
leaves his wife because he gets
With my-
mad at her.
Yeah, with my gear on, ready. I missed all the.
He was late. We had to move him in the card.
So I missed the rules meeting. I missed damn near the
doctor.
warm up, the doctor. So I barely broke a sweat. Hopped in and knocked him out in the first round.
First round.
Okay, wait,
No, when
wait.
you get out of the car and you say you have your gear on, you're talking about you
I
have
don't
shin guards
understand.
on and everything.
He
shin
no
guards.
shin
I
guards.
had shorts
no,
on.
He takes his clothes off in the cab, puts his cup on and his shorts, and it's in the middle of the winter. It's like 2 degrees out. He walks out of the cab in his fight shorts with his mouthpiece in. Let's go. Let's go. We go in the
At
back.
this point, I was really mad. Like
Yeah.
I'm already late. Everybody, I'm getting text messages from everybody. People I don't even know.
So you're fired up though.
Yeah, like I'm hot.
No, because they're going, this pussy doesn't want to fight.
Yeah,
He's
so-
just trying to not show up.
Well, then there's the people that came out to see you and you're not, right? So there's
it's like everything just went bad downhill. So someone had to.
So
get
you get in the ring and walk us through this. You get like literally getting in the ring and you look across.
Okay, not even get a look. I look down. So I look down. This is why I knew that they didn't clean the mats. I look down. There's a pile of blood right next to me, and that's when you realize it's real. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's blood. They didn't clean it. They're nasty, and
And you're barefoot.
yeah, I'm barefoot. I'm like, okay, and this is fresh. So I'm like, okay, someone died because
Yeah.
this is a lot of blood.
I'd be like, I'm out of this sport. I'm
like-
good.
And I look up, this dude is like hicked out, like shiny bald head, amazing beard. Okay, his beard is what
His beard was
beards
really-
were
his
nice.
beard
They
was-
had like
he-
they had like movie theater beards. Like, why are your beards like perfectly shaped?
Yeah.
that actually made me kind of mad because I can barely.
We punch him right in his beard, man.
That's what happened. So when the bell rung, I just like went nuts. He kicked me one time, and I just tried to take his face off.
Kicked you where?
I
Just
don't
like in the
remember.
side or something.
I think he threw a leg kick.
Yeah,
and-
probably a leg kicking. Those won't really phase me. So I just look at him and I just like hit him with a hook or something. He went down. Then I tried
Yeah.
to murder him.
Well, he went. You
So
hit
once
him.
he's-
He went down. He got up, and then you hit him, and then he quit.
Did you kick him in the face?
I tried to. I
You
definitely
did.
tried.
You
to.
definitely tried.
I mean, I'm sure you have.
definitely
You just kick someone in the face.
Yes, I try to do that a lot. That's
like-
literally, if you watch any of my fights, the first thing I
first
do
thing.
is throw a head kick. And my aspect on that is nobody wants to get hit with a head kick.
No.
Nobody wants to get kicked in the face. I
So-
can't imagine getting kicked in the face.
So if I start with that sets the tone. Like now you know I'm really trying to hurt you. So they kind of back off after that. Like,
And I got to tell you, his last fight, he doesn't even remember throwing it.
Yeah.
I had to show him the
Yeah.
video. I was like, yo, you went out, you threw a kick. No, I didn't. He's like, I did it. No, I was like, you threw a kick. Then we watched it. We were like, ooh, that was kind of fast.
It's like,
That was
oops.
fast. Like, I think he set the tone. He literally scared the shit out of him. He didn't want anything to do with you.
and you're undefeated.
Undefeated.
Man, that's a good feeling, huh?
So
Yeah, it is.
when you get in the ring and the bell rings and you go to fight, you blacking out, or are you
No.
are you on cruise control? Are you like what does it work like for you? Because I mean I've sparred with Brian and I've sparred in the gym and stuff, so I've been punched in the face. I get kind of like what happens, but I've never competed in a ring. So like what What goes on in your mind?
Truthfully, the first couple fights, it was an out-of-body experience. It's like you're watching yourself fight. But now I'm completely aware. It's like I'm there. I feel everything.
It's because the adrenaline's going.
adrenaline
Even if
rush,
you're
like-
angry, do you feel like it's anger? Do you feel like it's
No, it's more like
competition?
it's more like calm. Like I'm extremely calm. Like I don't talk. I don't get excited at nothing. I'm extremely calm, extremely relaxed, and bouncing around a lot.
Every guy's different too. Like you get some guys, you got to hold their hand through the whole process. There's some guys that like you have to give them positive feedback. Some guys you got to tell them like, "Yo, if this guy walked into your house and punched your wife in the face, would you kill him?" You know, like you got to
get him mad.
You
Like,
got to get weird shit going. Some guys
We've been
just,
through that. We've had to test the words to see what I react to.
But that's where the amateur experience comes in. Amateur, I mean, for us, it was where we figured our relationship out, how we are going to work. And so by the time he went pro, I mean, we have a group. We barely talk.
Yeah, I barely talk. I'm a sleeper. I'll sleep the whole time before a fight.
And do you remember, like after the fight, do you remember everything that went on in the fight, or is it like when you're driving home and you go over the Driscoll Bridge, like I never remember going over the bridge? And you're not drunk or anything. You just don't
I've
remember.
been there 100 times.
Like, is there moments of that? Like, wow, you see it on video. Like, I don't recall even doing that.
That happens a lot because it's so
You're in
much
that
stuff
zone.
happens like at a spur of a moment that there's no way you can remember that. So when I watch the video, I'm like, oh, I did throw more than one elbow. Or, oh, he did hit me with that elbow. That's why my face hurts. So that
Fighting's weird, man. When you're fighting, when you're the guy doing it, your memory of it is totally wrong. I've never remembered it how it goes.
Yeah.
As a coach, I mean, I'm sitting there, I see everything, and I'm like, you know, it's a
you're
movie plays
Rolodexing
over
it,
my
yeah.
head over and over and over. But when you're fighting, you don't remember it. I mean,
So
it's weird.
being that kind of fighter though, and having that kind of attitude, you probably don't get winded, right? Because you don't have like an adrenaline dump or.
my first MMA fight, that was bad.
This is the fight into the UFC.
Where
or
was
your
it?
first?
No, my first MMA fight
your
is
first-
probably the only time I've been winded.
And your first amateur fight, your first amateur MMA fight, and your first pro MMA fight were god awful cardio.
Were they adrenaline issues or
A little bit of both, like weight cut issues and adrenaline issues.
The
'cause-
pro one was weight cut.
Yeah,
That was ridiculous.
weight cut and adrenaline, and the amateur one, I just wasn't ready for it. Like I'm like, I can't breathe. He's like, stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
He said, suck it up.
He
go back
murdered
out there.
this guy for 3 minutes. This dude was like a centimeter away from quitting, and the bell rings. He comes back. I'm like, all right, let's go out. Next round doesn't do a thing. Just kind of dances.
took it off?
He
Just like
not
moving
even
around.
like take. This wasn't taking it off. Like he valet parked. Like that was like. And then he comes back, and I'm like, dude, do you want to lose or do you want to win? Like, what do you want to do? Like, fucking do something. And that's where I was like, I'm done. I don't want to work with a guy who's got quit like this.
Yeah.
So I dragged him into the gym, and I basically broke him and then didn't let him leave. Like I broke him down, I kicked everyone out of the gym. I had him like just do some crazy workout. And when he said, I'm done, I made him go another hour.
That sucked.
And then when we were all done, I was like, did you die? He's like, no. I was like, wait 20 minutes. Are you good? He was like, I'm good. I was like, so you know now you can go way more than you're giving yourself credit for, so stop quitting. And he was like, all right, I'll never quit. And then it was just like a weird thing. Like we broke whatever we needed to break between us, and we've been good. And
Nice.
Carl's now first one on, last one off, hardest worker I've ever worked with. No disrespect to anyone I've ever worked with. This is the most dedicated human being I've ever trained.
Well, it shows, right? Because look where you are right now.
And how many? What's your record right now?
6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
That's in the UFC.
That's in MMA period.
No, one. He's only 1-0 in the UFC.
Oh, 1-0 in the UFC.
Do they
That's right.
count the contender series?
No, they don't.
So it's 1-0 in the UFC.
What about all time?
All time? 6-0.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
As
like,
a pro.
As a pro.
Oh, as pro.
6-0,
Okay.
yeah.
Any difference in your UFC fight and your other pro fights?
You know, it's crazy. My UFC fight is probably the calmest I've ever been for a fight. Like that, it felt supernatural, like I was supposed to be there. No nerves, no jitters, no worrying about anything.
That's probably huge.
Yeah.
Well, that was
Go in like that.
We both
Yeah.
2 weeks out. Like I wasn't saying much because I didn't know where he was at, and I didn't want to freak him out. Because sometimes you're like, "How are you?" And then like all of a sudden, like, "I'm really not good," and I can't believe you just said it. So I just kind of waited for him to bring it up, and he was like, "Man, I don't know. I just feel like for once in my life, I'm where I'm supposed to be." And I was like,
That's got to feel good.
And I was
right?
like, holy shit, I feel the same way. Like I was like, I don't know if you've ever been in that spot.
You said that to me once when you came out of Georgie's. That you had that exact comment. I feel like I'm
That
where I'm
explains a
supposed to
lot.
be.
That explains a
You
lot.
talking Georgie at the bar in Asbury?
yeah.
Forget it, just go. No, our friend Georgie.
Do we have to pull the videos out?
I almost
videos. You've got to pull the liver.
I almost
you gotta
loaded
get
them.
it. You got to do it.
for the which
Come
one?
on.
The liver kick.
The liver.
I'll see if I can pull
That
it
is
up.
the
I'll see if I can pull it
classic.
up.
Am I
Classic.
just so I'm sensing this right? Am I so like before I go out on stage and the feeling of like I'm supposed to be here, I'm calm. I'm like,
See
ready
how
to go.
Derek made it about Derek?
No, I'm just trying to relate. I'm really trying to relate.
I see what you was trying to do. I seen we're here.
So it's like you're like this is it. This
Yeah.
is my
You see the
stage.
They're letting the
Yeah,
old
it's
men
true.
make
Like-
fun of each other and they're bonding.
Yeah. I
Okay,
saw
so
they,
it turned
they
into
both
like-
went to Neptune.
you guys are a bunch of haters. Neptune
man, for
alumni
real.
over here.
Man,
But yeah, it's,
I ran for mayor.
It's a crazy feeling. Like I was super calm, focused, knew what I had to do. Everything, like this is probably the hardest camp I worked, running so many. I ran like 30 miles a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right,
so-
we got to touch on the weight on that though. Like we were talking about his first pro fight being hard, and we found out why. So the UFC is amazing. They have a training center in Las Vegas that it's comparable to any NFL team's
Oh,
training
I'm
center.
sure, right?
And you can use
These are
it,
world class athletes.
but the minute you get a contract, you can use it for free.
anytime.
Anytime.
Nutritionist,
everything.
How often have you been there?
Twice.
Yeah,
3 times,
we went
3
out there for the
times, 3
Contender
times.
Series, and then he went out after for this camp because we wanted to get his body tested.
So when you say like for camp, you can go out there with your crew and use the gym.
If we
like,
wanted to move to Las Vegas,
Everybody
and-
who comes with me gets in for free.
So
Okay,
if we
so-
wanted to move to Las Vegas and train only there, and I don't want to have a gym, we could.
Right on.
As long as he's got a contract.
Yeah.
Well, let me, as long as I can be your Bieber,
Yeah.
like when you're walking out, I'll just be behind you, like Neptune in the building. Woo woo.
Derek was a Slim Shady on the MTV Music Awards way back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
They had like a bunch of Slim Shadys.
Yeah, whatever you need me to do, man. I'll like when Bieber
I'm
came out with
down.
Mayweather, I'm coming out with Carl.
I'm down. I'm down. Let's do it.
Neptune in the
Let's
house.
do it. Let's do it in Jersey,
You're
too.
repping Neptune a little differently than you were thinking if you do that. So.
Listen, any exposure is good exposure.
I don't know, but I think he came from a little bit harder streets than you did. I don't know.
I'm from Jumping Brook.
Oh, my gosh.
You're up the hill or down the hill?
I'm down the hill.
Well, the hill's not even that. Wow.
Yo, that's a big-ass hill. If you have to walk that hill, you're going to be upset. That's
I don't
definitely a
get the
hill.
whole reference up the hill, down the hill.
That's because you haven't walked the hill.
The Shark River
Yeah.
Hills is considered up the hill, but it's like there's a bunch
In
of
the
hills
middle.
in
It's
there.
like- I'm about to say it's like
what
in
is
the middle.
this?
It's
Where
in
are
the
we
middle,
right
yeah.
now?
This is like Neptune City, Belmar.
See, this is Neptune
It'd
Township.
be down. It would
But-
be down.
But
I'll
I
be down across. It'd be closer to Shark River.
yeah, people.
yeah. That is, the Shark River's
Yeah,
right
Shark
there.
River's right there.
All right.
This is like
I'm
this is
learning.
like a gray area. This
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
Nobody really knows what
nobody
happens
knows.
here.
Yeah, this is just creepy over here.
So you ran the hills to get the weight off this time.
Green Grove is up the hill, though, kind of.
Yeah, Green Grove is up there.
Green Grove's
Yeah,
up the
Green
hill.
Grove is up there.
Do you
Anyway.
find it hard?
People listening are like, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna pull it back real fast because it's really anyone that follows the sport and they see people with the weight cutting, whatever. This dude went out to Vegas and to find out where his body's at. So what they submerge it in water to figure out like all the
Okay,
composition.
one, no, this is not a movie. They have
They
this,
do have the underwater treadmill, motherfucker.
yeah, but
I want to run on that
That's
thing.
just figure- no, you don't. It sucks.
really?
Don't let the funness fool you. It sucks. But it's a big like composition machine. It's like a X-ray machine, like a low-rate X-ray machine, and it weighs you, shows your muscle mass, blood, hair, all that, and when you put a mask on you, so when you breathe, it shows what you burn, muscle or fat. So what do you burn more? So when I got there, I was 220 pounds. Had to get to 185.
Whoa, that's a big cut,
Well,
right?
wait, he'll tell you why 185 was impossible.
Yeah, so when I got there, the dude looked at me like, what weight are you fighting? I'm like, 185. He looked at me like I was stupid. I'm like, he said, what do you mean 185? I'm like, 185. He said, have you been down there before? I was like, a few times. He's like, you sure? I'm like, once, twice.
Yeah.
He's
On my
like-
way up.
and it really hurt.
I'm like, it almost died a couple times. He's like, okay, that's understandable. So when they figured everything out, I had 186.1 muscle mass, and like the rest was fat. So for me to get to 185 that
You
way,
have to lose muscle.
yeah. But the way I was doing it was I was stripping down to my bare minimums. Like I was like pretty much like losing all my water, all my nutrients, damn near like killing myself.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well now you have to become a marathon runner. I'm like, what do you mean? He said you got to strip that muscle down a little bit. So he put me on this crazy running schedule, like 3 to 4 days a week, 5 to 10 miles. And then that's
And your goal was to lose muscle.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah,
That's crazy when you think about it, right?
It's easier to lose fat than muscle.
So much easier. Like I didn't realize, like it got easier during the end because your body get used to it. But the beginning was like the worst thing in the world.
So what is your muscle mass at now when you're trying to fight at that weight?
He's going to go
try to-
find out.
I'm about to go back.
What
now
if you had
and
to
find out.
guess? You think it's like in the 70s? You want to be in the
Yeah,
seventies?
probably 70s now for sure.
Yeah, definitely like mid 70s, probably 70s.
So that way, when you're cutting that weight off, you're cutting fat off.
yeah,
you're cutting
cut
water
fat,
off.
and I still have I'm healthy. Like that weight cut is probably the easiest I've ever made.
That he started his weight cut. What were you like 196 when you started?
Yeah, 196 and got down to 184.
Normally, like
0.5.
just so you understand, like the difference. His last fight, he starts cutting weight at 196. His fight prior at 185, he started cutting at 212. He went from 212 to 185. This one was 196 to 185. So before, like literally, we had to dehydrate his organs to like, get him down.
Can you walk around at this point close to 85?
Truthfully, now we don't really walk around at 185.
What do you walk around at?
That makes sense.
No, because
So what are you like right now?
right now I'm like 215 now.
And you have no problem cutting that weight off?
It's what I choose to do. I like to eat.
Did you wrestle in high school?
To see you right now in 215 and you look jacked and in shape, I can't. You must be like the leanest
man.
thing ever.
That's why these guys are
God,
terrifying
ridiculous.
when you look at them, when you're
Ridiculous.
watching these fights. They're so they're ripped, they're shredded.
And right after you weigh in, and like it's like you weighed in, it's official. You go just like you can't eat a bunch of shit, but like
Go nuts.
Yeah, but you don't. Come on, you
You're
go
like, give me a
nuts.
steak.
You go nuts within.
I go nuts
the
within
plan.
boundaries. Like steak, pasta, Gatorade, steak, pasta. Like, bro, stop eating so much. I need to gain the weight back. So I'll walk back in the cage around like 206.
That's
207.
crazy.
that's crazy. That like how
But that's what everybody's doing.
is it a couple
So-
days? Like
No,
you
Nah,
it's
it's
24
24
hours.
hours.
24 hours, man.
And you could put that much
that's right.
weight back on in 24 hours.
Most of it's water. You got to think.
Well, I mean-
a gallon of water is what 8-9 pounds. So I take like 2-3 of those.
So,
Yeah.
like, but think about it though. Go into a sauna, you lose 4 pounds. You drink a glass of water, and you're 4 pounds heavier. You know, it's,
Right.
Yeah.
It's you just dehydrate.
It's definitely it's a tricky game.
How many? All right, let me ask you this question. So when you're fighting people, do you find it harder, or are people stronger or weaker depending on you fighting a guy who's just that weight, or you're fighting a guy who had to cut 30 pounds to get to that weight? You know what I'm saying? So if you're fighting a 185 pounder that walks around at 185, he's probably small.
Yeah, pretty small, but if they're walking around that weight, most likely they're going to be faster because that's their body natural weight, so they don't have to cut anything. But when you fight someone who cut from like 230 down to 185 like I am, the strength is there.
You can
and
feel the power?
The power. Like, you know, like, okay, this dude has some weight behind him, so you have to move differently.
The crazy part was your last opponent used to fight at 205 his whole career, and he
Yeah.
cut down to 185. And you both literally did the same cut,
Yeah.
and you were like twice the size of him.
Yeah,
Do you-
so it varies on body structure.
Do you feel like you're so when you're 230 and you're cutting down, you feel your bones are denser, like you just naturally have because your body's used to carrying around that mass.
I think
like
everybody-
let's talk Jay Teitelbaum.
Yeah.
He was really heavy.
Yeah.
And he cut a ton of weight. But do you think he still held that power? But that's why he was so good.
That's why he hit like a heavyweight because
So it's true. Your body holds that power.
Yeah, your body's used to moving that type of weight, so it's more explosive that way.
And well, you also got tested for your quick trigger, and
Yeah.
your quick trigger's off the charts.
Yeah,
What'd
my
they
quick
say?
trigger's like,
What's quick trigger?
Like a twitch muscle?
Like, twitch muscles like past Olympic levels.
No
Like what?
shit.
Like,
And
what do
that's
you
where all
mean?
the power is. So he
Yeah.
he has the ability to accelerate faster beyond an Olympic level.
Yeah.
So
Like accelerate in what?
Yeah,
like
anything.
Like
Physical
off the-
motion.
Yeah, like
Oh.
twitch. Like pretty much like when we're moving, and then my first move is my twitch muscle. My first move would be like 3 to 4 times faster than yours.
how do they
So you
like?
can't hit him.
How do they
Also, right?
How
Well,
do
no,
they?
the amount of power that he can generate because it's the whole physics thing. It's like speed
Yeah.
and
How do they
mass.
judge that? Like
They have,
you see a light and you got to move.
No,
like,
they have a whole system, like a computer with pressurized sensors and everything.
And
We
they're
have
like on you, like-
we have to on you. You have to jump off a bench, hit the ground, explode up, go to the left, explode, go to the right, run back, get back on the bench. There's so much stuff. They have like it's the top facility in the world. For
I mean,
That's why-
I'm pretty quick. I mean, I'm pretty quick.
the way you did that, you're a liar.
You may feel 18, but you're moving 36. Bud.
So what's your definition of quick?
That's a good point.
See, I will,
I was joking.
I'm going to throw everybody under the bus that doesn't make weight in MMA. If you're in the UFC and you're not making weight, it means you're not taking advantage of the technology they have. I mean, that's like you're in the NFL and you're going to work out with a high school team.
Yeah, right.
It's
they
so
want to
crazy.
They want to.
Oh, and Marshawn Lynch went to go work out with.
Like,
That
if he's
doesn't count.
working
He
out-
was suspended, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
so
But
he's
if,
okay.
If you're not going to Vegas and taking advantage of this free opportunity to get everything tested they wrote him a program, like literally down to the point of, okay, if you do this workout, this is the meal you eat today. Like they had his food,
Yeah.
his workout, his body composition,
How many calories I
everything.
can eat.
What's your body fat percentage like right now? Like you think?
Probably way higher than it was before. Way higher than.
Well, like, all right. So when you were for that fight, was it like below 10%?
Nah, it was above 10%.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still insane.
Yeah.
But like, what?
It was like probably like I think 12.
Yeah, you were
That's
you were probably
insane.
about 12.
12%.
That's nuts.
12%
Yeah.
body fat.
It's funny. People think fighters, what are you, like 3%?
That's it's like
Where the fuck do you
Yeah,
think their
if you-
fuel's
if you-
coming
if-
from,
yeah.
dude?
Like if you like that cut, most of the time people who are that cut don't have any cardio. You'll notice it. Like the people who are like unusually cut in the UFC, they will use guys who don't last past
fuel.
the second round
No
because
fuel.
you don't have to feel. Your body runs on fat.
Yeah.
Your muscles can only do but so much.
Yeah.
If you ever had the opportunity to, I don't know, maybe fight like a celebrity, or maybe the president of the United States, do you think?
I'm knocking somebody out.
But I gotta tell you, I'm a good fighter.
Oh, Don, have you met Carl Brian?
Carl's great. What's his name?
Brian.
Bobby fan. He's fantastic. What I do is I take the extra part of my tie, wrap it around my knuckles, and then I just start swinging it. It's great.
Do you take the tie off, or is it still attached to your neck?
No,
that
it's attached.
seems kind of like.
That's kind of dangerous. Like,
No, because then it snaps back. You'd be surprised.
Oh, so your twitch muscles are.
Mike,
fast.
you're an idiot. Okay, that's number one.
you got a science to it. You broke it down. You got a science. You
Number
cracked it out.
two.
It's the president of the United States.
I'm so bigly. I'm huge. Okay, I'm fantastic. You should see my muscles under this big floppy suit. It's fantastic. I'm a great boxer. I'm the best boxer. I tweet about boxing.
Do you think Carl?
I'll beat Carl, no problem.
Do you think you'd fight him on the wall? Maybe that's the next big bout. We talked to
Right in front of the wall.
right in front of the wall.
Right in front of the wall.
It's Carl the Wall versus Trump, the Trumpster puncher.
Donald Trump, everybody.
So he needs a better nickname. I didn't like that.
Every now and then, the president just
It's
shows
just-
up on the show.
it's
Oh,
just
he's back.
Trump.
Wait, he's back.
It's,
He's back.
I don't think the president got your reference either, by the way.
Which president? This one?
Yeah.
The president of the United States?
Yeah.
Which
I don't think you
reference?
really understood the wall part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
The fight wasn't going to be those two in front of the wall.
Yeah. President's an idiot.
I don't get what you're saying. I'm so financially smart.
Maybe we can help you build the wall. Maybe a wall of Carl's.
Wall, a whole bunch of cars.
I'm gonna hire Carl. He's gonna fight all my battles for me. Take care of my light work, Carl.
Donald Trump, everybody. Every now and then he just
Yeah, he
shows
just
up.
pops in. It's
Just
crazy.
shows up.
It's crazy.
All right, I'm having again for the second episode in a row. I hate to admit it, but I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty. So nobody hears that but me.
You can put
But
it
I'll
in the
put it in
post.
later. I'll put it in later. You
We can
kind of
hear
hear
it.
the music.
We can hear it.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
It's real low. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting it
it's
from
fine.
this.
All right. Well,
I don't know if I hear it or if it's playing from over
Well,
there.
it's playing. I'll put it in later as well. But it indicates a game we like to play on the show called Top or Bottom. This is Pizza Beer Revolution, and the revolution is of our guest, which is the two of you. So it's kind of revolves around you. I'm going to give you 2 words. You're going to tell me which one is on top, which one's on the bottom. We're going to round table it. Brian, we'll start with you because that's the way we always do it. Top or bottom, number 1, training or the main event?
Training or the main event? I really have no idea how to stack them top to bottom and what they would mean, so I'll just say main event.
top, training
Yeah.
bottom.
Training
guess
sucks, right?
Yeah, about to say main event. You get paid more.
And isn't like the training? The training's the work, right? When you get in the ring, like
Yeah,
that's
the-
not really. That's like the
yeah.
fun part, right?
Training.
Yeah, the main event's where you make your money and it's all good.
Yeah, I'm trying to relate it to like me and like the main event is.
It's like you on
Is your
you on stage. Is either the closer or you're the opener.
Oh no, I'm definitely the.
Actually, it'd be more like it'd be like you writing the material,
Yeah, writing
and then
the
you
material.
performing.
No,
it.
I get that, but what I'm getting at is obviously I think I would go main event because the actual show or live event it's great and all, but when it's all over, you did all that work to lead up, and you're like not doing that work anymore necessarily for that. It's kind of like you kind of miss it. You're kind of like
Yeah.
until the next one. I
You're
guess.
so used to it, and it's like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah, it's like I was every day was
Yeah.
something for the like a one man show or something. It was like months and months of work for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
10 months of work for a 1 hour and a half on stage.
Or
That's
3
what
minutes.
happens. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 15 seconds.
What's the longest a fight ever lasted?
3 minutes? That's a
8.
lot.
You had the first fight was 2 4s.
And your first
His first pro MMA fight went 2 rounds.
Do you worry about that though?
What?
That you're winning too quickly? Because eventually,
I get that question a lot too. Like, are you so used to finishing that you're not training for
that's
a
been
long fight?
wasn't that a problem with Mike Tyson?
Yeah,
in
but
the early
Mike Tyson
days?
was crazy. I'm smarter than that.
Thank God he's
If
not
you
Mike
see
Tyson.
my training section, especially sparring, we go hard for about 5 to 6 rounds.
Yeah, I mean,
So we push the pace to make sure that we're ready for everything. So I'd rather take an ass whooping and training for 5 to 6 rounds and then go into the cage and finish do the 1 round. And be like, okay, I can do more.
we're
Like,
always
after my
thinking
fight.
one more. We're always thinking one more round. If it's a
Yeah.
3-round fight, we're thinking we got to be in 4-round
Yeah.
shape. That's the way it always
Yeah,
is.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you got to. Because getting hit takes so much energy out of you. You got to be able to push that pace.
When we get out early, it's like, whew, okay, we dodged a bullet on that one. We don't have to figure out the cardio yet, but you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem finding a sparring partners that are keeping you on your toes? I mean,
No, truthfully, I'm the youngest. I'm the baby of my sparring partners. I spar with so many vets. Like they teach me so much and push the pace all the time.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you ever in the gym where it's like, hey, Frank, you're sparring with Carl? And Frank's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yo, he's also, you're one of like 7 people that got into the UFC under 10 fights.
Yeah.
In its entire history
crazy.
of like modern MMA.
Why?
Why what?
Why did they how did they see that? How did they
Because-
see the potential?
What's that process like? Are they looking at also, they
They want to see if you.
they go watch your fights?
They want to see. Yeah, they watch my fights. People send them videos.
Okay, yeah.
But more than anything,
wanna see
it was
you
the
if you can
fear
get-
of him is what
Yeah.
did it.
That and they want to
'cause
see if
no
you
one-
can come through adversity. Because they like to see people get into hard fights, so they want to wait until they run into that one opponent. But every opponent they give me that they assume is going to be a hard fight, I rise to the challenge and I show them that I'm capable of anything.
Is the Ultimate Fighter still a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So was that an option?
It was at one point, but I'm crazy, so me standing in a house with a whole bunch of dudes, alcohol, and no contact with outside world just wouldn't have went well.
You'd be
They
fighting in the house.
They said, hey, you want to consider Carl for Ultimate Fighter? And I was like, do you want to put him in jail? I was like, this is not going to work. This is not going to happen. So
Or they're like, ratings.
yeah. Well, think about it. The Ultimate Fighter, you can't do anything that would screw up continuity. So no music, no TV,
No newspaper,
no
no phone.
books,
Yeah.
no nothing.
That's how that works.
Nothing.
He with a whole bunch of dudes
Crazy.
who wants to knock your face off.
And they're all fighters,
6
yeah.
weeks.
And alcohol for 6 weeks. That is not going to end well.
No.
Yeah.
It takes a special person to survive that.
So people don't know this, but you had a hard time getting fights. I remember this watching
Yeah.
social media because people were afraid to fight you.
Yeah, local circuit, I couldn't get a title fight. Nobody wanted to fight me. I had my manager, luckily, was Sucker Punch. They started flying people in from out of state. So nobody wanted to fight me.
We had to go find people that had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
Wasn't your last fight like just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
When's the next fight?
Late January, early February, we're looking to.
We're working on it now because
Yeah.
we're having the same problem.
Did November 1 was the UFC?
Here, we look at it, like if you look at it from the outside in, you see a guy doesn't have a lot of fights, knocking everybody out. You're like, wow, this is really exciting. We can't wait to watch him fight again. And every guy on the roster is like, I don't want to
Yeah,
fight.
but do
a
they
guy.
have a choice?
It's somewhat.
Politics?
Somewhat.
It's somewhat. They give him a chance. Like, okay, you want to fight, da, da, da. And then after a while, okay, you going to fight him or
Because
we gonna cut you?
the UFC wants him to fight, so they're going to call somebody up and be like, "Hey, you have no choice. If you don't, we're going to put you on the bench forever."
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of John Jones. Remember when I called one of John. I used to film and commentate cage fighting 100 years ago, and John Jones was fighting for Battle Cage Extreme, and nobody knew who he was at all. And he fought Carlton Hasselrig. Do you remember? You were
remember
there. You were there.
Hasselrig, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like he was on the scene, and then 6 months later he was a champion in the UFC. Man, I feel like this is a similar. You're on a similar path.
We're on a path right now where like the guys. I don't even know what we call them, entry-level guys that are working their way into the league.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fight them because a lot of these guys have 40 fights. Carl got in with like 5 fights. He's only got 6 fights.
Yeah.
And 5 of them been finished in the first round. So a guy with 40 fights is going, okay, I don't want to do this. Another thing, too, is your pay doesn't change if you lose. And for us, we're on entry-level pay. We're not fighting some top 10 guy who's making $500,000.
Yeah, it's-
like
Yeah.
what? You're going to pay us like pennies to go fight a big name? So we're in that point where it's like for what we're getting paid.
We gotta think business.
Yeah.
But you do have a choice. I didn't realize that. I thought
Yeah.
they were just telling you, hey, you're fighting him now because you're in the UFC.
But not everybody has a choice. They give certain people choices.
So how many fights do you think you need to have until they're like a big ticket one pops up? Or comes in? Could that happen at any
it can
time?
happen anytime. It matters how you fight. And who
Like
you knock out.
a big name guy could just see a video of you and be like, I want to fight him.
Or-
does it happen?
I doubt that happens. Why
Yeah.
would they want to fight him?
But if
know,
you piss
you
the
know
right
what I mean?
people, you piss the right people off. They
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get on Twitter and call Michael Bisping the right word, he'd probably fight you in your backyard
Yeah.
for $5.
I
Like,
love Bisping,
he doesn't
man.
care.
I really like him.
Yeah.
He's
You know?
a fighter's fighter.
He's-
They don't make too many like him
No.
anymore. He'll
Yeah.
fight. He's a fighter's fighter.
He'll fight to fight.
He'll fight because he enjoys fighting.
yeah.
So he'll-
Comes out to London's calling by the Clash, right?
Yeah, like he has oil pumped in his eye because he got his retina.
Yeah.
So they put oil in his eye, and when his career's over, they'll suck it
Yeah.
out and repair his retina.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, is it really that worth it?
Yeah, well, this
Yep.
is livelihood.
Yeah, I think so too.
I say the main event as well. Top or bottom number 2. Who would you rather fight, Mayweather or McGregor?
Mayweather. So much more money with Mayweather.
Yeah.
Mayweather.
Just for the money.
Yeah, just why not? I'm bigger than both of them, so whoever I'm fighting gonna catch an ass whooping. But
Are we thinking?
If I get worked over by a guy that's 50-0, it makes me feel a lot better than
That's
some
it.
crazy Irishman with a dozen fights. Come on
yeah,
now.
like, I'm gonna take Mayweather, and then we can go to his strip club after that and enjoy the night.
Yeah, they're laughing. They're both laughing all the way to the bank.
Definitely.
But what if it's a
But
non-money?
Connor's going kind of crazy, but Floyd's definitely
If
laughing.
What if it's not a money thing, and you had to fight either one? Like who would you?
Still Mayweather.
Still Mayweather?
More of a legacy with him. It's more of a respect thing. I would definitely have Mayweather on top than McGregor if I had no choice.
Don't you feel like Mayweather too would like work you over different? Like it wouldn't be like it'd suck,
Probably wouldn't hurt.
but it wouldn't be as
hurt.
bad.
It just wouldn't be like an assault.
He would
Like,
numb you first. Like you
Yeah.
would take a lot of punches, you'd be all numbed up, and then you wake up in the back going, "Oh shit!" But like McGregor's got that left hand. I don't know. I feel like he hit like a rock.
If you hit either one of them, could they handle it?
No, they're going to sleep. I hate too hard for that.
I'm old. I can't hurt anybody anymore. Carl,
Okay, one,
shit.
he's a liar.
Stop
And
it.
two,
I've been knocked out by him twice.
I've seen him like hitting people in the face recently, and they weren't happy about it. So he's a liar.
Stop it.
I mean, I here's my thinking on it. There's in boxing, I feel like you get knocked out, you go to the floor, they can't jump on you and crush your face, kick you and knee
get
you in the
10 count,
face.
yeah.
So I'd rather just Mayweather for money as well, but just rather get punched by him once, knocked out, give me a ton of money.
But you're not gonna get. They're gonna give you 8 count. You're gonna get up and take another ass whooping.
I'm gonna
That's
get
what I
up
was gonna
again.
say. Like,
Oh, you gonna
MMA,
get up,
man.
They ain't got no
MMA,
choice. They're gonna pick you up.
yeah.
You gonna get up. You're gonna just get out there.
Yeah, MMA, you get hit. It's like, okay, it's done. Boxing, you get hit. They pick you up. And they
Yeah.
go like, oh, you're good. You got to go back out again.
You're sort of still standing.
Yeah.
It's sure your nose is on the other side of your face. Eyes
Don't worry
shut,
about
but
it.
you know, keep going.
Look, I'm an actor. What am I doing here?
What is
You could act
this?
dead so you don't get murdered, right?
What is this?
Top or bottom number 3. Stem cell surgery. Sorry. Stem cells or surgery.
Stem cells.
Stem cells.
Every
What?
day.
How
It's
come
a
it's not more
goddamn
prevalent, man? How come it's not happening all the time?
All right,
Right,
now
like-
we're gonna get into like.
Well, this
that
is why in
debate.
bo-
it's
it's
because we got like
conversation.
religious fundamentalists that don't allow us to like.
But why
get
in
stem
boxing
cells.
and
And
stuff
a
is
lot of
that?
people don't understand
Sports. Explain it like Derek.
Well, I know some people, if they're paralyzed or something, they can, stem cells.
so-
grow
But
back.
it's
But
where
in
the stem
boxing,
cells are coming from is the problem. That's what everybody fights over.
Is it
It's
to
not-
rejuvenate, or is it just in general, just
If
for
you,
healing?
all right, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but let me just put this out there. I blow out my shoulder. I can go and get surgically repaired, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I got to go through all kinds of rehab, or I can have stem cells injected into my shoulder, and it will naturally repair and be like brand new, if not stronger than it was prior.
You can go to Costa Rica and you can get that done.
What is what I said bullshit?
No, it's that. But his question is where the stem cells coming from.
They come from cadavers,
Yeah,
right?
so you can think.
Well, no, but they get them from fetuses. They get
Yeah.
them from cadavers.
So that's, you got to think a dead body. You put a dead body into you. Something negative is going to come out of that.
Can you? So you have a child. You can save. Brian and I are both. Can we say that?
Yeah, sure.
Brian and I are both expecting his second, my first. You did in your first
You
child.
look really good for carrying, by the way.
I'm getting.
You're carrying a little low.
It's unbelievable. You're
carrying a little
We talked
low.
about it a week ago. You can take your son's. The baby's placenta and the umbilical cord. And you could save that for stem cells. Is that something? Did you do that with your first child?
No, I didn't even know we could. I
Yes.
didn't even know if you're illegally allowed
No,
to do
yes,
that.
it's a box. They do it right away, and they send it out, and it gets
I think I did
frozen.
when
I don't know. I might do that.
So
That
can you
sounds
go
pretty
back
good.
to that and use your own stem cells?
I don't know.
Wait, so
no idea.
we like right
I'm
now.
a fucking kickboxing
there's-
coach. What are you
there's-
asking me medical questions
there's
for?
There's got to be a time limit on that.
No, because they freeze it. It's for.
But you put something in the freezer, it still get frostbitten.
Well, you're not putting it in your whirlpool.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: if like you got hurt and they're like, "Oh, I'm not, I don't know anything about medicine or anything," but say you got hurt and they're like, "Oh, you're the same blood match. We could take some."
I would
stem
never
cells."
give you my stem cells.
I'm just.
I would never give you my stem
But can
cells.
someone?
So
Can
he's
you
gonna
do
do
that?
I think you can do that, right?
No,
Like,
they're
I'm pretty sure.
you got to rip it out of the bone marrow.
can you
though.
do
Yeah,
it?
you
Very
got drill
yeah.
them to the bone. It's not a fun thing.
Oh, I didn't.
But yes, I think you can. To answer your question.
I mean, I know like about it, but I didn't know like what the procedure's like. So you could take it from another living
I think it's common in. I think it all started. I 60%ing this, right? So Andy Barr,
Well, we'll have to
our
check.
fact checker, fact checked this. But I think that started with people who had cancer and they had to do a bone marrow replacement, which is like one of the most terrible things a human
Yeah,
being could
that's
go through because they
nuts.
take out your bone marrow and replace it, right?
Yeah, and isn't that like one of the most painful
Yeah.
possible operations ever?
Yeah, so that's. I think it all came from the ability to do that. The technology advanced that now people are getting.
Yeah, but they also have it like people with like a slip disc are getting it.
Yeah.
Their discs are regenerating.
I don't think they'll try it on Alzheimer's too, right? Try to repair
Yeah.
the brain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It's a great thing, but
And,
again,
honestly, the only reason it's not allowed in the United States is because there are religious fundamentalists that don't want us playing
so many
God.
other countries are
It's
doing
not.
it.
It's so
Yeah,
stupid to me.
Pretty
'cause
much, you can get it in almost every country in
Yeah.
Europe.
It's so dumb to me because it's not playing God. It's just medicine. Hey,
Well, also
this can fix people.
But they're taking the stem cells from aborted fetuses. They're saying too, which goes against the whole argument.
But they're
they have on
already
that,
aborted now.
No, but again, they're saying that
They'll find a reason.
They're trying to say that there's going to be like this black market now, where like abortions are going to be pushed even more because now they're selling.
Well,
body
how-
parts.
how-
I think they are anyway.
How
but
are they
I mean,
doing it
whatever.
in other countries? Like, what is their process?
I know that they take them from. I know that a lot of it comes from like the fetal tissue. That's
It
like
does.
that's like the main.
There was a kid, I read an article. His kid was a quadriplegic. Did the stem cell process, and from the waist up, he's like,
Yeah,
good.
it repairs, dude. Let me ask you this. Answer which one you would prefer real quick before stem cells or surgery.
I guess stem cells.
So we just
Yeah,
had
I
like a
agree.
productive conversation.
Yeah.
You better pick stem cells.
So here's how I should have posed it.
Come on now.
Here's how I should have posed it. I think
if it's an appendectomy, I'm just getting surgery, which I've already had.
if I would have said stem cells or HGH, what would you have said?
Stem cells.
Still stem cells, right?
HGH, thing about HGH is, let's say I have cancer or something. Not even like deadly cancer, just
like
a little
pouring
speck
gas
of
on
it.
a fire, right?
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start taking this and now my cancer is
It grows.
go
right?
through my whole body. Now I'm going to die
Right.
just for this.
And I got a big head. Like, do I
Yeah.
really want
It
like
may-
a Tito
it
size
starts
head on
changing
top
bone
of it? Come on
structure.
now.
Because HGH again, I'm just saying what I think I know. But you have HGH in your body. That's why you grow. And once you're done with puberty and growing, you don't produce it anymore, right? So when people take HGH, they start growing again,
Continue,
and that's
yeah.
why like Barry Bonds' head is enormous, right?
Yeah, it basically it
Seriously,
it
it
brings
got a lot bigger.
it brings you down to a state of like a teenager. So your body behaves like a teenager's body. You repair faster, everything. I mean, I know of people that have done HGH, and it's amazing how fast they recover from injury when they're on it. But then at the same time,
The side effects,
the long-term
right?
side
Yeah,
effects.
long-term.
I mean, that was the whole thing. There's a kickboxer. You guys who are listening, go Google him. Andy Hoog. He was one of the best kickboxers of the 90s. He died at 36 of leukemia, and he was known HGH user. And I swear that
Jeez.
that was it.
It had to be because you
Had
hear
to
so
be.
many stories of fighters dying randomly.
And also
Yeah.
the heart attacks and stuff.
Especially heart
Ah.
attacks at 40, completely healthy. I know a heart attack passed away.
Because their
That's-
heart grows. Your heart's a muscle.
like, it can only get but so big before it can't really pump productively
Right.
anymore.
All right. Before I ask you the fourth top or bottom, I want to ask a question. Do you know? Did you watch The Punisher on Netflix?
No, I did not.
God damn!
I still haven't started yet. I will. I will.
can't answer this question.
He's about to throw all types of spoilers out.
Do you know who The Punisher is?
Yeah, what kind of question is that?
My son is 4, and he rules the TV. So if you ask me,
Don't watch The Punisher.
No, it's not like it's not like movie Marvel. It's like-
It's not that Punisher.
That's the one where my son's like, "Yo, when mommy goes, can we watch Punisher?" Like,
All right. Do you watch The Walking Dead?
Yes.
All right.
No.
So you know who Negan is?
Yes.
All right. So I wanted to ask the question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Screw it. Since you're the only one that knows who I'm talking about.
knows who
I
You
know,
know
you know
I
Negan?
know Negan.
Negan's
so-
John Bernthal.
No, that's the Punisher.
See?
Way to
Right.
pretend like you know what you're talking about.
Bernthal was in Walking Dead.
He dove in like he knew exactly.
I know, right? It's good. At least you said head first.
I don't watch The Walking Dead. I don't know nothing.
Top or bottom, the Punisher or Negan? Who wins in that fight? There's a clear cut answer. I'm just
Punisher.
I gotta say Punisher.
He does, right? Dismantle.
Punisher's way more
Yo.
violent.
We grew up with Punisher.
I know Punisher.
We
I
know
know.
Punisher.
He's
Not Dolph.
vicious.
Not
Punisher's
Dolph
killing him
Lundgren.
and everybody
Punisher.
he's with.
Yeah. I'm Punisher too. I don't know Negan, but Punisher's a badass.
You guys, I'm pushing everybody to watch this like I'm getting paid. You have to watch The Punisher on Netflix.
If I watch it and it sucks, I'm gonna be highly upset.
Dude, listen. I promise you.
Are we
I'll
watching
let
it
you
because of the violence, or are we watching it because it's actually a good show?
It's the best. I'm a film guy.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's my new Breaking Bad. It's visually, the writing, the acting, everything from beginning to end is unbelievable, and you will love it if you love.
Carl is legitimately the real life Punisher, so don't piss him off. And
If
he
you
now
don't, if you
knows
watch
where
it
live,
and you don't
so-
like it, I will spar one round with you.
I want to
Most of
watch.
that time will be me
Yeah, that's all I
running.
need.
I want to watch.
He wasn't there last night. He has no idea.
I don't want to,
he's
but
asking
that's
for.
how confident I am that you'll love the show.
right.
You know what I mean?
Because what show I watching? Daredevil. They messed that up.
Oh, you didn't like Daredevil on Netflix?
Did you see the Punisher on
He was
Daredevil?
great in
He
that.
was into
Yeah.
a few episodes.
Yeah.
He's badass.
Awesome, man.
It's the Punisher. You have to make him a monster. Like, he has to be a monster. If you don't, you're not doing it right.
So good. Top or bottom, number 4. Here's the real question: was would you rather how do you feel cut weight versus walking around weight? Which would you rather do all the time? And I'm not saying like get to the cut weight, but like if you were at your cut weight all the time versus I look pregnant. You know what I mean?
I look pregnant. I'm happy at eating.
Yeah. So you'd rather.
I'm completely mentally okay with knowing I'm gonna have to cut down to my cut weight.
Wow, that's
to
not
cut
the answer
weight.
I
If I
expected.
could walk around it at my cut weight and still eat, I would.
Well, you can't though because
All right.
that's the part.
Exactly,
Right?
that's
I'm
what
not
saying-
fucking
that's
starving
what-
myself, man.
So you walk around fat,
and
but you don't feel
fat
you'll
and
feel
happy.
good, fat and happy.
You don't feel good?
What?
I mean,
feel
sometimes
fucking
I feel
You
amazing.
haven't really cut weight. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I cut weight with you once. I got
Yeah,
all the
you
way
got
down.
kidney stones and almost died.
I did, man.
You got a
It's bad.
urinary
It was rough.
tract infection.
I got all messed
So
up.
imagine
it
that
wrong.
all the time.
all the time.
No, yeah, you're right, man.
exactly.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
fat and happy and have to cut when we have to.
Whatever Carl said.
That's a good answer. When I cut weight, I was probably like, when I met you, I was probably like 220. What I'm probably at now. Maybe I'm a little heavier now.
Say how tall you are, just so they really
5'9".
understand what that means.
He's 5. Yeah, right. He's like
5'8". I'm 5'8".
You're not
Derek's
5'4".
5'4".
I'm 5'7".
5'8" standing.
I'm 5'7".
You're 5'8" standing on the
He's 5'4".
shoebox. Come on now.
Don't knock me off a couple inches. I'm 5'7".
I'm 5'7".
I got down to like 175, 180 ish.
How'd you feel?
I felt, aside from what he's talking about, I felt amazing. Dude.
I felt like great, but I couldn't piss. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, when I pissed, it was like a flame coming out of my dick, but I felt great.
like everything was all messed up, but I felt amazing.
Yeah,
I
I
looked
felt-
amazing too. But I
Looked,
felt-
yeah. He used to. What did he used to say?
It's
to
all
me?
about the look.
He
right?
would always
All about
make
the
fun of
look.
me because like after we spar whatever I'd lift, he's like, "Yo, vanity muscles don't win fights." You know, he's like, all you do is
he's
curl.
like curling in the mirror. Yeah, I'm gonna look great.
Yeah, but whatever.
The one I always laugh at though is like
I'm gonna look gay. I need to get a tan too.
when you you probably did tan, motherfucker.
No, I just
You
went to the
probably
beach. I
did.
surfed a lot, so I didn't need
Yeah.
a tan. But I trained for that fight for a long time when I met Brian, and it never happened. That was a huge letdown for me.
Well, you
Yes.
got what the fight?
Like 2 times that we
a
went.
fight fell through, and then you got screwed up. Like your kidneys were bad, and you had a urinary tract infection. It was
I think
bad.
twice it felt. We went all the way to like the week
Yeah.
before, and it fell through.
Yeah.
So I never actually got to do it in the
What,
ring.
like boxing? or
Kickboxing.
Kickboxing.
Never MMA. It was always kickboxing.
Yeah. You never got to you know.
Well, I got something to strive for.
No.
Hey,
Might as well, why
Yo,
not?
dude, I did my retirement fight at 40.
Yeah, but look how that ended,
You can
dude.
do it. Damn.
Yo, you want to know how that ended? Okay.
Shots
all right,
fired early.
Wait, you know how that ended?
Is that the one in the cage? With the,
Nah, that was
No.
in the ring.
When I fought when I was 40 years old, man. I got my ass kicked for 5 rounds, and I
No, you
walked
got
out.
your ass kicked
Oh,
for
we're talking
4
about 2
rounds.
different
All right,
fights.
4 rounds.
rounds.
First round, I did all right.
Yeah.
But the last 4 rounds, I just survived. But I walked out of there. The demon was dead. I never felt more relieved in my life. I buried my career that
Yeah.
night.
Granted,
And I
you fought
felt
like a
fan-
20-year-old, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I fought a guy who literally had 19 fights in like 4 years, and I hadn't fought in 6. And I was fat. And I remember how.
And he was
oh
only
my
sparring
God.
midgets.
Yeah, I had nobody my size to spar.
He had people his size. He
Nobody
only
wants to spar him.
sparred
You know what he
midgets.
does.
I did not want to spar with you because
You had Stein there.
Screw you.
Stein was closer to the fighter. You
No, I
sparred
sparred with
Joff.
him. Yo, I broke my toe on Stein's elbow.
Well, that's your fault. No one told you to try to kick so hard.
How many
Like,
rounds are in a kickboxing fight? Same as
3.
boxing?
Five.
Oh, yeah, you did 5.
I did 5 3s, but like Glory, which was Carl fought professional kickboxing and Glory, those were 3-round fights.
Oh, okay. And how 3 rounds? How much each? How much time?
3 minutes.
3
3
3s.
minutes.
Three
Okay.
threes.
Yeah.
Brian, you sparred with Brian. He likes to put people down.
Yo, I can't.
He probably can't. He
No,
probably not
we
as
did
easy
in the
for you,
beginning. We sparred in the beginning a little bit when you were bigger, and it was a lot easier. But then when you slimmed down, got faster, man, no. we did a couple rounds when I was training for my fight, and it was some of the worst rounds I've ever felt in my life. I'm not kidding. Like usually when you get hit, it's like a thud. It's like you get like a thud. You know, you feel rocked a little bit. You feel the compression. When Carl hits you, it's that plus this biting hard, like you just got hit with a brick feeling. It's awful. It's awful. I don't know anybody that's ever been hit by you that's been like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Everyone he hit.
That's with the headgear. And
Yeah, I
It
punched
doesn't
right through
matter.
headgear.
16-ounce
Headgear.
gloves, little gloves, headgear, no headgear. If Carl hits you, it just sucks.
Can you control that in sparring? Do you pull back?
No, I'm not pulling back.
He thinks he does.
Okay, first of all, he's a liar. Again, I'm not pulling back. I'm going to hit you. We're sparring. I'd rather you
Yeah.
get used to getting hit by me and then not be fazed by someone else than me take it easy on you, then someone else smack you and you get shocked. Like, oh, this is what a real punch feel like. No, I'm going to feel like an asshole. So I might as well just feel like an asshole, punch you in the face as hard as I can.
Man,
You know what?
I take back if you don't like the Punisher, I'm not coming.
You know the thing. One of the reasons we get along is I have this twisted idea about it. If you want to fight one of my guys or you want to go hard with one of my people, and they put you down, I feel like we're doing you a favor because we're letting you know you're not built for this shit.
When I was sparring and training with you, you used to get mad at me for going too hard.
With numbnuts.
What do
You
you
would
mean?
go with like children. Like, stop. You would like spar with the kids class and like hit a 13th row.
That's not true.
Stop.
There was that one girl, but she was at least 14.
Okay, Matt Lauer, come on now.
No.
current events.
Wow, this show just took a turn.
That took a left turn real quick.
It did, man.
Come on, we play dirty. That's how we roll.
And I know you probably get asked this a lot, but like, have you ever been out like at the bar or something, and someone tries to pick, and you're just like, look, you do
No, the better.
You do not
No.
want to go there.
You need to ask this question. When you're running at 1 o'clock in the morning, what happens? You got to tell this story, please. It was one of the best. That was the best Instagram story I've seen in years.
Wait, were you running like
No,
through Belmar and
check
drunk
it out.
asshole?
I was running
Check
through
this
Neptune,
shit.
So I'm like, I was going through something like fight camp, getting a little crazy. So I'm running. I decided, okay, let me go for a late night run. So it's 1:30 in the morning. So I'm running towards downhill. I wasn't even downhill. I'm running towards downhill. So I'm on like 35. You know where Rick's Liquors is?
Yeah.
I'm running literally right like on that area. So I'm running, and it's late, so you don't expect to see anybody else. So I'm running, and from the corner of my eye, I see someone walking. I'm like, okay, he's walking. It's cold. Why is he walking? It's kind of late. All right, so I'm running. And then like something like I was listening to Pandora, you know, Pandora, the song stops.
Yeah.
So song stops. I hear footsteps behind me.
Wow.
Okay, this is weird. So I slide him forward. I glance. He's jogging now. I'm like, okay, maybe he's late for something. So
He wants to work out.
Yeah.
So now, since I'm from the streets and I like notice certain things, I'm like, let me see how he reacts to how I react. So I sped up. He sped up. Now I know he's looking for me. Okay, so I take my headphones off. And he didn't realize how I slid them back so my ears are thin. And he's on the phone like, yo, I have somebody. Come meet me, da-da-da. So in my mind, should I fight this person or should I wait till I run into the whole group?
I have somebody.
And you hear him say this.
Yeah, I hear him say, because he's literally like, if I'm running, I'm at the wall, he's literally like at this wall. He's like that close of a distance.
And
to
does
me.
he think like you don't know he's there?
I don't know. Maybe he might have been high off or something, but I wasn't going to ask.
He probably was on something or drunk or some shit.
Yeah, so no, he wasn't drunk. He was running way too smooth to be drunk. That's
So
why-
let me just paint a picture here for. So at this moment when you hear this, what are your options?
My options are keep running forward, find out who he was talking to, or stop and handle the situation at this time.
There's nowhere around you to go.
No, this is literally a straight road.
You also don't know if he has something on him.
Yeah, so this is a straight road, and I'm starting to like get towards the graveyard. So this is now a scary movie situation.
Oh, you're talking about back by the high school?
Yeah, up the hill.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like by that first graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so I slowed down.
That's kind of like a remote area. It's not like
Exactly. That's why it was so
That's
suspect.
why the guy's hanging out there
Yeah,
waiting
that's-
for somebody to
that's
come
at
running
1 o'clock
by.
in the morning.
Exactly.
Who's running
That's why I'm like suspect. So what got me mad is I am running at 1:30 in the morning. What kind of person do you think is running at 1:30 in the morning?
It's the same kind of person that hangs out on the Appalachian Trail. If you listen to last week's episode, you'll know that's what I'm talking about.
So I decided, okay, now I have to make a decision, find out who's ahead of me slow. So I slowed down. As I slowed down, he grabs my shoulder.
Oh, no.
So he grabs my shoulder. I instantly turn around and I punch him in the face.
You swing immediately, right?
There's no question or nothing. Swing around.
Was he like your height, lower, higher, taller?
His perfect punching height. Like
That's a great way to jab.
no, this is a hard right. If I hit on my left, I'd have probably killed him because that's how.
Are you lefty?
Yes. So like he grabbed my left shoulder, so I can only turn around to my left, so it's the right. So when I turned around, instantly knocked him out. So I knocked him out. Everybody goes, why didn't you take a picture or something?
Take
Call
his
the
phone,
police.
yeah.
No, I'm not doing that because his friends might still be coming. So I'm gonna knock him out and I'm gonna start running in the direction we came from. So that's exactly what I did. I knocked him out, walked past him, and started running, finished my run.
And because I'm fucked up, my first question is, yo, is he snorting?
So you didn't.
I almost killed Carl with that question. Okay.
You didn't recognize him?
No, I had no idea who he was.
So like it was like immediate, like he's down.
Yeah, immediately.
Because
it was probably one of the hardest punches I've ever.
Yeah, because you're throwing that for your life.
Yeah, this is a life or death. This is a life.
You don't know what he has.
Because in our area down the hill, there's a lot of wild stuff.
I want to wait till like
Yeah.
1:30 in the morning and like go run and hope I jump in. Like, hey, going for a run, Carl?
I'd have been okay with that. Like, if you said my name, like, bro, you going for a run? I'll run with you. Okay, let's exercise. Not you on the phone and doing a lot of suspect stuff. Like, not that many people run. And for me to be running 1:30, I have to be an avid runner. So if I wanted to, like, if I didn't hear him say, "Oh, this," like, I'm coming, someone, I would have probably just took off on him.
You could have took off. Yeah,
He just would never caught me. But I'm like, okay, if I'd have kept running, then I'd probably ran into a car.
But he had to be
full of
really
dudes.
close to you, like to
Yeah,
grab
like,
your
it was
shoulder.
like-
I've known Carl a while now. One thing I can tell you, he's very analytical about his violence. Like, he is a comfortable human being around fuckery. Like,
I am down for violence. That's what I tell people.
I had somebody like get in
Well,
my...
you're in the great-
I had a guy get in my face on something, and Carl's like, would you like me to hurt him for you? I'm like, no, we're good. He's like, okay, just ask. I will hurt him.
real polite about it.
No, he's just ready. He's like, I'm ready to go.
Like,
you want me to go? I'll go.
The
Whatever.
thing is, I'm not the tough guy. I'm not going to talk shit to you, but I'm always down to fight.
Right.
So if you test it, you're going to find out. Like, I'm going to fight you. I'm not going to try to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm going to just let you know, like, okay, this is what fighting really is about.
It's also, and it's what you do. I mean, you're
Yeah.
in the right career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at
MMA is not that. We don't want to paint it as the wrong picture.
No, right,
Carl
exactly.
is definitely a special breed.
But in his
of
scenario with that
character built through
story,
this.
Definitely.
anyone should have done exactly what you did.
Definitely. Definitely. Don't stop, say, what do you want? Nothing like that.
Excuse me, sir.
Protect yourself.
We're gonna have a party. Your friends
What
coming.
is that? Shoot and ask questions later. That's what we're going to do. Like, we're not out here risking lives.
I just feel like it's always funny, like if you're out of the bar or something and someone starts, the drunks.
That happens.
And you're like,
surprised.
look,
that happens a lot.
you don't know me and you don't want to do this.
That's
but
why
then they get more like, oh, yeah. And then it's like, oh,
Dude,
geez.
that's why I don't tell people I'm a fighter when I go out.
No, never do.
I'll lie. I'll say like I'm a Exxon worker. I'll say it all the time. I work at a gas station.
Yeah, because they'll if they know that.
Instantly, like they try to like swing the nuts. Like, hey, I can fight.
Yeah.
Why don't we spar real quick? How about not? What do you?
Right,
what?
like that's
What's wrong
my
with
work.
you?
Did I mention I'm a professional? So
Yeah, like
you-
I get paid for this. I'm not going to fight you at a bar for no reason.
Yeah.
Now, if you make me,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
It's
but
like-
otherwise,
Yeah, but then
I'm
that
gonna
could be
avoid
so
it.
detrimental to your career, though, if you get sucked into that. You know what I mean? So you're
No,
right. You're better.
exactly. It's like when rappers would try.
No, but we're like 2 weeks out from the fight. He lays this dude out. My first question is, was the guy snorting? Because when you knock someone out, they kind of make this weird snorting sound. But then my other question is,
Did you break your hand?
did you break your hand, motherfucker? Because like,
Yeah.
you break your hand, we're not getting paid. That was Mike Tyson. Who did he punch?
No, he fought. He punched the person he was fighting.
And he broke his hand.
Yeah.
And he couldn't fight him.
that's-
I mean,
Dumb
that's
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you would hear like a rapper trying to come up and like, oh, I want to battle Jay-Z. I want to battle. It's like, what am I going to do? Get a deal first. And then come talk to me.
Like stop reaching for the stars. What are you doing?
Yeah, and the Jay-Z would have nothing to gain by that? Why, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He could be made a fool.
Yeah, like, why am I doing this?
So this sound indicates armchair futurist, right? Pizza Beer Revolution. It's all about the revolution of our guest again, which is you. So I'm going to ask you a question of in 2050, what the fight game looks like in the year 2050. But before you answer that, Derek D over here to my left has this unbelievable ability. Do you hear that sound in the background? That AOL Instant Messenger dial-up modem sound? You remember that?
Yeah.
Did you have AIM?
Yes.
Do you remember your screen name?
Don't say it.
Hold on, do I remember my screen?
So if you were
It's been a
chatting,
while.
if
It's
you were
been a
chatting,
while.
long time, right? But if you were chatting online on Instant Messenger, or if you had an AOL account, do you remotely remember what it might have been?
Yeah.
Because Derek D, now that he's talked to you for 1 hour and 4 minutes, 31 seconds, he'll come pretty close
Well,
to guessing what it is.
Some I've gotten really close and even close to the numbers, but like, I don't know if you were always in fighting or into fighting, or if you were an athlete.
Well, he told us he played baseball.
I was always-
Baseball. Yeah.
You know where he's from.
Karl Roberson.
My nickname is Baby K. I'm just let you have that.
Oh, that you might have gave him way too
Nah,
much.
because
though.
I was wild when I was young. So, so he like my
Baby K.
Yeah,
So it's Karl with a K.
yeah.
Was it like K Rob or something? Like K?
Not even close.
Was there a number in it?
Yes.
Was it like a birthday or something, or like
My number in baseball.
or a number of baseball? You're a pitcher. I love that song.
He gave you way too much, man. I feel
was
like the
like-
more he gives you, the worse you are.
I don't know, maybe like Baby K, and there was like Strikeout K, what was your number, like 9 or something?
Nope. It was Baby K Nasty 18.
Oh, 18.
Terrible.
Baby K Nasty. No, hey,
Well, that was the
sometimes
worst.
I'm right on the money.
I mean,
sometimes I'm not.
it's actually amazing. I mean, we didn't do this with you last time. I don't want to really sit
no.
through him thinking again. But
No,
what
we
was
didn't
your
do
what was your AO?
He was way too old for that. He didn't
No,
have that.
well,
Oh, mine was like the name of the gym or some shit. Like mine was like Eastern Sun 98.
So
like
you're the
something
weirdo
like
talking from a gym name to people.
yeah, age, sex, location. You know, right?
Yeah. Age, sex, location check.
All right. So the year's 2050. You're sitting back. You're looking at the fight game, MMA, UFC, whatever you want to call it. And we kind of touched upon this
Yeah.
before we started the show.
So I'll let Carl answer.
Yeah. What does it look like?
Besides the belt around your waist.
Oh, I like
2050.
2050. Yeah.
Better not be around
In a
my waist at
wheelchair.
that time.
It should be hanging on a
It
wall.
should be
right?
have a couple on the wall,
Yeah.
not just
And
one.
you're commentating by then.
2050, a group of fucking ninjas.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like ninja.
Straight,
MMA.
it's gonna be like, it should be like a video game because there's so much of evolution. Like even now, fighters aren't the same from what they were 20 years ago. Like there's so much evolution, so much. It's crazy. So much like we're working out with just weights and everything.
Yeah.
Like the body's changing.
Yeah.
And so many like ninjas. That's what
Ninjas. I like
Do you,
that.
do you
kind
think
of,
we talked about? Was it on the last episode? I think we talked about a movie with what's his name, the Wolverine. Anthony. Who was the
I
movie
know the
with
way
robot?
you talk about Real
Huh?
Steel.
Real Steel.
Yeah,
Hugh
yeah,
Jackman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
So is it? Do we go towards that, or Brian? I'll take you another path. Brian mentioned earlier.
No, there's another movie. What is it? I forgot the name. It was I forgot the name, but it had to do with they was making copies of superstars, and they would kill the copy.
The Island.
Yeah, the Island. Did you see the
I
fight
did-
scene in the Island?
Yeah, that was.
They had it was something like Real Steel, but they had computerized versions of you where you can literally fight the person right next to you. It was like pretty much you just have a copy.
Almost
Same
like
thing.
Westworld, where
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something
you
like
were
that.
talking earlier about like nobody being there.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up like the Contender series where you're going to be fighting in a room with nobody there and everybody's going to be at home with their VR goggles on, sitting
Yeah.
front row.
Is that a problem for you as a fighter? Nobody being there?
Yeah,
want the
truthfully,
crowd.
Yeah, you want the crowd because the energy's there.
Contender series was the freakiest
Yeah, so
thing
again,
ever.
I don't think that would happen because again, even if you're in the VR, you don't get that experience.
Well, I think VR by 2050 is going to be pretty crazy.
But still, we were talking about that too. Like even like Broadway and shows and stuff, people could do it there as well. But I think there's always going to be
That
people want to go
experience,
there
yeah.
live.
That
I also-
experience.
and I think fighting is in our DNA. I think as human beings, we enjoy to watch other people in conflict like that. Like I don't.
That's definitely
ever-
You gotta
true.
think.
I don't-
Definitely true.
We had the gladiators.
Yeah,
we had
I don't
this.
think
Yeah.
people are gonna substitute, bone on
Yeah, but it
bone
may
contact with
I
some
don't
fake
disagree.
shit.
I don't disagree with you, but I do think that there may become a time where it's too dangerous to put yourself in that position to even be in a crowd.
Well, let's not. That's
Well, I'm about to say,
now
wait,
that's
being
like
in
we're
a
scared.
crowd?
That's yeah.
To be
Now
in
we're
a
scared
crowd.
of terrorism
Yeah,
and
crowd.
stuff.
Yeah,
Fuck
so,
that noise.
Yes.
Well, you gotta think. Well,
I don't
if
think
VR is that sophisticated and you're gonna feel like you be there, they can probably attack that too at
You
that
were
time.
you were
So-
telling
good
me
point.
a while ago that you said that like street violence was down because of video games.
Yeah, you gotta think.
So think about that as it goes on.
Yeah, you gotta think.
He's talking about terrorism though,
Yeah,
like
terror-
crowds and stuff. Like
yeah, but I don't.
you can't ever live.
I think 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I'm just
man.
putting it out there. You never know what's going to.
No, you're
never
right.
know.
You
It's,
never
it's
know.
36 years away.
Well, hopefully,
Right.
we don't have to worry about shit like that.
Yeah.
So this can go into a whole nother level.
I like the ninja thing though. I think that's funny.
It's a whole bunch
As
of
long as it
ninjas.
doesn't turn into like the shit they do in Russia where it's like an obstacle course and 5-on-5,
Okay, first of all, that's sick, and I want to do that.
I've seen it.
I
Did you
want to
see the one the
drop
guy
kick
got-
somebody
Yo.
off of a top plank.
Did you
and
see
they
a guy
fall
get
into a
his
little-
neck broken and then they carried him out of
No.
stretcher?
Listen,
they were on like an
that's-
obstacle course and the dude went for a guillotine and like dropped him 5 feet onto his head and broke his neck.
Well, that's the risk we take.
And
I'm willing to do
Putin's
this.
in the front row. Yeah,
I wouldn't be taking that
willing
risk.
to do
I'll
that.
root you on,
For
Carl.
a 5-on-5, I'm down.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything you want to plug? When's your next fight?
Late January, early February. Look out for it.
Where can people find you? Twitter, Instagram?
Twitter is Baby K.
Baby K.
I saw you just started. I followed you.
What about Instagram?
You got to start working.
Instagram is I'm doing Instagram.
Yeah, baby. You can follow.
It's Baby K something.
Yeah, it's
It's
Baby K.
is his handle on pretty much everything.
K Baby K Roberson. That's my handle and everything. So look me up, follow my story, and become a fan. Hopefully, I meet you.
Pizza Beer Revolution. You can find us on the web, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get some love, and we'll love you back. Guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Problem.
Thank
Thanks
you for having us, man. Enjoy it.
Thanks,
Awesome.
man.